Houston Center for Contemporary Craft often hosts exhibitions by artists who use traditional techniques to express a modern vision. Curatorial Fellow Susie Gilbert introduces us to the newest exhibition in the Artist Hall.
I'm so excited about this exhibition of Alyssa Salomon's work. She is a photographer based in Richmond, Virginia, who does cyanotypes and Van Dyke prints on handmade paper. So what you see behind me is a number of framed pieces made in this process, and on the other side of the exhibition we have some of her newest pieces, which are handmade paper stretched around steel frames. Cyanotype and Van Dyke prints are 19th century photographic processes from kind of the birth of photography. So they were developed in about 1842. Both of them are direct printing processes. So you coat the surface of your paper with these different chemical recipes. Cyanotypes use iron alone, and Van Dyke prints use iron and silver. And then you expose your negative on top of it just to regular sunlight, and it develops right on the surface of that paper. Cyanotypes have a commercial application and always have as blueprints, but Van Dyke prints never have had a commercial association, so they've always been associated with fine art printing. For Salomon, what's interesting about these processes, she uses a digital camera just like most people are familiar with today. But she chooses to use these printing processes to activate the image. In her words, she says, Ansel Adams had 3 books. He had the camera, the negative, and the print. And for most people, the negative is where photography is about. It's about that moment of taking the picture and what you do with the negative that you get then and how you develop it. For her, the print is what's most exciting. And using these chemistries and this handmade paper, she can make the print real, that the image doesn't exist until it's on the paper. And it has to act with the moment, the exact kind of chemistry she put on and the paper that it is, and every single one is different. And these works, the tooth of the paper itself is evident, and certain areas take up the chemistries more than others, and it allows her to really make her material speak. She's interested in the material investigation, which I think is at the center of craft. What are the possibilities of every single tool and component that you're working with, and what can you get out of it? In her other works on the stretched abaca over the discs, the paper allows her to use a transparent medium and to give the work structure itself so that it's not contained by a frame, and taking photographs out of the frame and making them more like passing moments, which is really, I think, what photographs are.
Home hobby photographers, who may be most accustomed to taking a finished product from a printer tray, can also find inspiration in Salomon's work.
I think one of the most exciting things about Alyssa's whole process and her work is that she's using everyday moments. They're trees, they're birds, you know, they're things that anyone can see. And what I think is great about that for the hobbyist is to know that there's possibility in everyday moments, and that you can take these pictures of things that are very simple and you can make something extraordinary out of it. And more than that, both of these processes, cyanotype particularly, are very direct and pretty simple, and even a hobbyist could figure them out and begin to start experimenting.
Alyssa Salomon, the handmade print, will be on display through April 8th. For information about the exhibition and associated workshops, visit the Center's website at www.crafthouston.org. For Artbeat, I'm Stacee Hawkins.